Okay, hello, welcome. I'm gonna get started in just a second here. Okay, this is a bit of an experimental edition. I've got a new mic, and I decided I'm going to start doing this on my Windows computer. Um, so with that said, I didn't actually take the time to properly set up this mic's sensitivity and settings beforehand. So I apologize if you hear too much keyboard clacking during the stream. Regardless, I'm just going to go at the game development here. And again, what this stream is it's a question and answer stream where you can ask me anything, but as I answer stuff, I'm going to be working on this game. So basically, I'll be working on the game and then just ask me anything while I'm working. And I might program it in front of you if we have the time to do so, or set it up in Unity, whatever it is that you ask me to do. Um, and otherwise, I'll just answer your question. And if I'm not able to answer it on the stream, you can always follow up with an email. My email is bilal@omnirift.com. That's Bilal. Okay, with that said, I'm going to just hop into what I was working on here, and I hope that this is not too loud, actually, because I think it should be picking up the desktop audio. Oh, and there she goes. Okay, regardless, so if you can't hear this, I'm sorry, because these sound effects are pretty good. If I may say so myself. No, I didn't actually make them. I'll put a link to it in the description, but they're from a package called Universal Sound Effects. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and whip out my writer here. So the last thing that I was working on was actually what I sent earlier in the email. I don't know if you were watching the emails or not. I would be just itching. I'd be staring at my Gmail waiting for those emails. But I'm a little biased on that part. So for those of you who didn't see the email, basically I've been working on a system for these settings. It's not very, it's not a sexy feature. Like, it doesn't, you don't just hear settings and think, oh man, that's awesome. So I unfortunately don't have a crazy amount to show you. I mean, on the outside they look normal, but on the code side, it's a better system of. It's not my favorite system still, but it's a much better system than I used to use, where basically I'm able to like revert the settings after some period of time. So anyway, that was a fun thing to do. What's up, Spike? Welcome back. All good. You only gotta watch when it's convenient for you. How are you doing? So one thing I should actually do is test this in builds, which I had been doing. Oh, that was the thing I was going to fix. So, okay. So I have there's a context system. So whenever I talk to a character or enter a menu, it changes the setting usually. So if I talk to this guy, notice I'm moving the mouse around and I can't turn at all, but when I close, obviously I'm back to this world context. So that doesn't happen for the settings menu because I didn't set it up in a way that I love. So I'm going to have to work on a system for telling the player to actually pull that menu up. So I'm going to be working on that. Okay, let's see. I think actually what I can just do is basically move the so I've got a UI master. I can basically move this on escape. Oops. Forgot my unfold hotkey again. That's no good. There it is. Okay. Alright, so this is bound to the escape key, so let me pull in my references here. So I think what I'll do is move this to an on escape inside of the human. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so. And the human actor eventually, this needs to all move to the player actually. But, yeah, let's see. Oh, that was not what I supposed. Didn't mean to do that. I hate that shortcut. Okay, let me go to... What was I doing? I lost my train of thought. Okay, human actor, and then it should be... There's the model behavior, like, API thing. Do I have an awake? Okay. So this player on show is okay. Yeah. So instead of on show escape window, okay, I hope there is not way too much buffering because this is experimental. If there is too much buffering, then I'm going to switch this to send a lower resolution because that's frustrating. Okay, so yeah, that's annoying. Okay, hopefully this is working now. I've turned the resolution down. So like I said, this is definitely an experimental one. Because I'm just trying to make this work correctly on my desktop computer. So, not sure whether this is buffering or not. Okay. So, I'm going to get back to work now. So, I'm going to go to this onEscape function within my UI master. So, I've got an onEscape. Jump to that. So, I think basically what I can do here is... yeah, so when I call onEscape, I think I can also just give it the current actor so that we can change the interaction context. So let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So let's see, onEscape. So I think I'll change this one to also take a human actor. And so when we view the escape window, we should also set the interaction context. It's just like with these trade interfaces and all this. So we don't need that. We don't need that. Instead, you will call UIMaster.onEscape with... Actually, we don't need the data at all. We only need this. Okay, and so now what I'm going to do is once we show the top level window, if there is no window, what we can do is pass this, I think, actually. Oh wait, there's 3 usages. That's not good. If open window stack.count is greater than 0, open. You know what? I think what I'll do is just put a check in here for now. If it's less than or equal to 0, then we'll set the interaction context to UI. Well, basically what should happen is once I view the escape window. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put this in here. So I shouldn't add this delegate. So what I should be doing is, if we hit escape, so like after we do all of this, so if we had the escape window open, so like if it was 1 here, I think what I can do is I can literally just check if it's equal to 1. Then we can just set the interaction context back to world and control. But there's obviously a better way of doing that, which I think is basically, I think I can just put it at the end here, honestly. So this is if it's greater than 0. So I think I can change this to an else if. So if it's greater than 0 and equal to 1, or if it's just greater than 1. So this means closed last window, enable controls. Oh, that looks beautiful. Okay. And hitting escape did not work. I need to fix these blurry texts. I need to change these to be like pixel perfect or something. I hope there's not too much buffering. Okay, so if I hit escape, I can't move or anything. Hit escape and then it closes again. If I hit escape and then I pick one of these, I apply. I'm in pop-up mode. I hit escape. Still in can't control. Now I can. Okay. So one problem though is that I'm hearing the jet noises. So does that happen? I shouldn't be able to make jet noises while I'm inside of the UI, which I'm confused as to why I can. Because I'm pretty sure I fixed that issue last time. So if I walk up to this guy... Nope, it's not fixed. Okay, so that is just a general issue. Okay, so then what if I... Excuse me. So what if I leave the... Oh, okay, so I need to change this market thing. I think whenever I show a top level window, I should set the interaction type to UI. I don't know, but it has 5 usages. So I'll change that later. Not in the mood of changing that, honestly. So I can leave that there, but this should be gone. Is this actually used anywhere? Hide trade interfaces. Why do I even have this code here? And I'm pretty sure Ryder would tell me if it was a Unity reference. Scripting component. Hide trade interface. Well, that's not even being used. I'm pretty sure it's not being used because that's managed by hide top level window. This one I shouldn't need anymore because if there's only one window and we closed it, then this player actor should have its thing set. Does this have 5 usages too, really? Oh, it's all from the pop-up. Yeah, that's why. It's not beautiful. Okay. So let me see if this works appropriately with the trading interface. Okay, I'm gonna perform several tests here because what I just did was way too fast for me to comprehend. Okay. Compile time is slow nowadays. Okay, I'm in dialogue, I can't move. I'm in trade menu, I can't move. I hit escape, I can't move. Okay, but if I'm in trade dialogue, I hit escape. That is not supposed to happen. Oh, because of the... Okay. 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 If I'm in dialogue mode, then that should not show. Three parameters. What's the third parameter? Action, non-context action. No, I just want this one. I don't need any of these things open. Man, Unity is... I swear Unity's getting slower. I need to get rid of all these third-party assets. I've got, like, Odin and Console Pro. I threw away some, like, Hierarchy Pro stuff. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, so now if I'm in dialogue, hitting escape closes the dialogue instead of... Okay, cool. I also need to disable NPCs when I'm talking to somebody, because that is a mess. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do this on the screen because I like the new subsystems in Windows. What did I change? Actually, need to finish changing it. Don't need that there. On window was closed, doesn't need that. That could use some improvement, honestly. Don't need the rewired player in the UI master. Honestly, I think the rewired player is only going to be inside of my player class, and then that will use the rewired player to talk to everything. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, fix some bugs. Fix some bugs. Remove unused. Remove rewired binding. Master. Update. Rather than specific windows. What was the other bug that I did? Oh, fix the bug where escape window would not block player interaction. Now that is a mess of a commit name. It's not a mess, but it's a lot. It's a long name. Come on, let's go. Let's go, shitty virtualized version of Ubuntu. Okay. Man, these really need an update, crafting window content. Especially the window, whatever. It doesn't need an update, honestly. Honestly, the game just needs to be released. But it's not my favorite code. Sometimes Unity makes me do things I don't love. Okay, so why does the engine audio play while I'm not in the context? Where is it? Start thrusting manually. Is this real code? Am I using this? Oh no, I'm not using this. It's like, that doesn't look like code I want to use. But I need to decide on a way to dampen velocity. Okay, so let me think. I had a... Okay, so I have a move Y and a move X, which I'm pretty sure are bound to Pretty sure they're... Yeah, here it is. Okay, so... Okay. So if we move Y... Which part was it that made me actually... Okay, call if in context, animate jets. Oops. Oh, so I think the jets won't animate now, but I didn't change the audio to not play. Ship.thrust Y. Huh. Where's the play engine sound? That's weird. So if I talk to this guy, the jets won't animate, but the audio plays. Okay. That's another thing to fix. Yeah, I'll bite angle. What's up, Zaza? It's going well. How are you? Hopefully you guys can like hear me and see this fine. Guys, I'm trying this all out on new hardware, so I don't really know. Doing all right? Oh, awesome! You can hear me. Yes. Okay, so I need to remember where I actually thrust global. Oh, also this, I put this night shift thing on. I actually should take that off for you guys. Whoops. You were chatting last time you streamed. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember what we were chatting about, but I do remember. Thrust global. Where is this, man? There it is. Start playing engine audio. Okay. Okay, so I was wondering if you can point me in the right direction. For some reason, my component audio source on trigger enter from some reason doesn't work. My object gets destroyed. My score +1 works, but no audio. If I leave play on awake, it works once. Right. Okay, so... Yeah, so it sounds like what's happening is... I mean, I assume you have the audio source... Not on the object. So it sounds like the audio source is attached to the object that's getting destroyed, right? So that's kind of the problem. If that's the case. So my guess is what's happening is you've left an audio source attached to something, and then you call like GameObject.destroy on that object, and then you tell the audio to play, or actually you can tell the audio to play anytime as long as it's on the same frame. You're not going to hear any audio because it destroys the audio source. So yeah, so what you can do is so I remember this. This is when I gave the complicated solution. So I would basically just what I would do is, are you familiar with prefabs? And what I would suggest is just create a prefab that, what's it called? Just create a prefab that has an audio source attached to it. And then if it has that like audio source attached to it, then whenever you want to play that sound, you can just instantiate that audio source, and then you can set the clip of that audio source to be, let's say, the death sound or the destruction sound of that object. Then you can just tell that to play. So I'm not sure if that makes sense. Let me see if I can throw something in here that would also do that. I'm gonna go ahead and try to implement it here. So you actually don't need a prefab for this either. So one thing you can do here is I'm just gonna throw in a sprite here, and I'm gonna change it to do something simple here. So let's see. So what is this untagged? I'll just give this a player tag. And then I will undo all my changes. Actually, I think I didn't change anything, right? Yeah, I didn't. Okay. Okay, so this one, let me just add a script here. Sound, play sound when destroyed by player. Right. Okay. So let's say that this is this is a script attached to the object that's supposed to get destroyed, right? So I'm gonna make a public audio clip, clip to play on destruction. Right. So I can just set this in the Unity editor, obviously. So basically, I'll make an on-trigger enter here. For me, this is 2D, so I'm making an on-trigger enter 2D. And so here's what I'm gonna do, right? So if other dot tag. So this isn't the best way to check if a tag or to check if something should be destroyed, but it gets the job done if you're starting out. So let's say other dot tag is equal to player, right? So if this is a player tag, and actually I'm going to change this to be to lowercase check, so to lower, just in case I did a typo. So if the other thing's tag is player, right? So then I want to do a couple things, right? So I want to play sound, and I want to get destroyed. So in general, you should set game objects to inactive and then reuse them. But for the sake of this example, I'll just call destroy. So let's just destroy this game object. As for playing sound, you would say like get component audio source, right, and then dot play, right, dot play. And then you would also just, and before you do that, you would obviously, well, let's say, right, so you do something like this. Source equals, or source dot clip equals clip to play on destruction. And then you would just say source dot play. right? So this is how you play sound in Unity in general with no optimizations, just very raw Unity. Get the audio source, set its clip, and then play, right? So you also can just set the clip in the inspector, but that's not really useful, except in some very, very, very some like 1% of cases, like for example, you might have something static in the scene. Not the point. So basically, this is how it would work. But the reason this doesn't work is because, again, this is happening on the same frame, right? So on the frame when something enters the 2D, reference the audio clip. You don't have to. You can drag it into the inspector in Unity. So let me show you what I mean by that. So you can. Over here, which one of these has an audio source? Sorry, this is so slow. Whatever. Point is, you can drag it inside of the inspector, but for this, in this case, you could not. So the reason this doesn't work is because in the same frame, once the player enters the trigger, this will be called once, and then everything here will run. So it will start playing the clip and then immediately destroy the game object before the frame ended, so you're not going to hear anything. So instead, what you could do is create a new game object, give it an audio source, and then set the audio source's clip. And then after you set the audio source's clip, play the clip. So let me show you what that would look like. Invalid. So the other thing you could do is say, right, so I'm going to create a new game object, and then I'm going to say instantiated go equals instantiate new go, right? So this is just the constructor. In Unity, to actually have it in your scene, you would have to instantiate the newly created game object, and that will actually activate it in your hierarchy. You'll be able to see it like pop up in the bottom down here. So now that I have a new game object, I can call, what's it called? I can just add a component to it. So instantiated go dot add component audio source. So now it has an audio source, but I need a reference to that audio source to do more with it, so that I don't call get component 10 times. So we can just say source equals, I'll call this src. Right, so the reason that works because add component, after it adds the component, it'll return the component that I just added the same way as get component would. So now what I can do is say source.clip equals clip to play on instruction. So I'm setting the clip of that source, and then I just tell the source to play. So this would work. It would play the clip. It would do what I want. The only problem with this is that every single time you enter this trigger, you'll create a new game object, and you're not cleaning them up. So you would want some sort of script that after the clip is done playing, it would destroy itself. So that's one reason why sometimes it's nice to have some sort of what is it called? That's one reason why it's nice to, like I said, have a script that will manage it on its own in a different source. And it's also nice to disable objects instead and reactivate them. But this would work right off the bat. It's just eventually your scene will be filled with game objects. So what I would recommend is to create another script, and I'll just show you really quick what that might look like. So you might have a public class that like destroys itself after time, right? So like destroy self after clip length. So here's what's going to happen, right? So when I enable this script, it will play its audio clip. Actually, let me think about that. So here's one way of doing it, right? So we can have a public audio clip to play. And then on enable, we can say, I don't know, audio source. Actually, we don't even need to do this, really. What we can do instead of that is we can create this new game object. Then we can add an audio source to it. We can also add this component here, right? And then we can say the sources clip equals this. And then we can add this component here. So basically what'll happen here is that what I'll do is I'll create like another destroy function here. So private void destroy after time. And I forget, actually I think I can just call invoke destroy after time. Oh, and then time, yeah. We'll just say like clip. Let's say, this is not very pretty code, but get component. This will get the job done, basically. And hopefully you'll understand like more what's going on with that code. And we'll just call this destroy self. Right. So let me explain a little bit about what's going on here. So this is why I recommend a prefab, is because I'm adding a component twice, and it really can just get to messy code. So be wary of that. You don't want to be adding component. You don't want to have to like remember, oh yeah, I need this component added to this thing so that I can do this. You either need that through some sort of managed code base where create a certain object will always add the same components, but usually you'll do it through a prefab, because a prefab you just set it once in the UI and then you're done. There's no reason to make more code. But basically what this will do is, again, it makes a new game object and puts it in Unity. Then all we're doing here is we're giving it an audio source component, and we're setting the clip of that audio source component to play something. Then this script over here, once it starts, it will destroy itself after the clip is done playing. And then we'll start playing the clip. So, yeah. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. So the reason why we do that is because if we didn't have something to destroy the object after the clip's length, then we would have, let's say you pick up a coin 20 times, then you have 20 game objects left over, and they're never going to leave until you restart the game. So that's a problem. if that wasn't obvious, because so all we're doing here is just calling this function after this clip length, gets destroyed. Again, this isn't my, there's a lot of problems with this code, but it works. The reason why I don't want to overcomplicate it or go into better code conventions is because I don't want to make a bigger issue out of what this really is. So does that make sense, or did I confuse you more? I'm going to copy this into a separate file because I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, you can follow. Okay, so yeah, I hope. Okay. Let me know if you actually want this code. I can just send it to you. As it is doesn't work. Sure. But it should be just. Do you want to? If you want to send it to me, I can probably tell you yeah. But it's probably just because it gets destroyed at the same frame. Okay, here I'll send you a paste bin link because it's not going to get formatted well here. So, okay, so that's the first file. Note that you would need these in separate files because they are mono behaviors, so they need to get added as components, and Unity does not recognize mono behaviors in the same file. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, those two you can just add to the same game object. So this is how you do it with no prefabs. So this that will be a mess without prefabs. But I think, wait, let me remember. Let me see if I remember correctly. Yeah. So whatever object that you want to get destroyed, that should be a prefab with these two scripts attached to it, so that every time you spawn it, it has the same script attached to it. As for the player would need the tag player in any case, like uppercase or lowercase. And then you would just need to bump into it. And it should just disappear, and it should make a noise, and then the audio source should delete itself after it's done making the noise. In theory. I may have made a mistake somewhere, so. But, yeah. That's how the code should work. Okay. Yeah, I hope that helps. No problem. Sent you a message on your power-up tutorial. Thanks for the reply. I haven't made it around to messing with it all just yet, though. Okay, I can't remember which one that is, so I'm actually going to look that up. Yeah, right. Alright, see you later, Zaza. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's a few days ago. C-O-M. Were you on the same user account? Searching YouTube comments doesn't work. I can call you Fly. Okay. I will talk to you later, Fly. I was trying to drop the power up when an enemy died. Oh, power up. Whoops, I was looking on the wrong video. Power up tutorial. Omni Rift. Tutorial, throwing together. Ah, okay. Having a hard time setting the spawn power-up function when an enemy is destroyed from the enemy script. If you've got any insight, I'd love to hear it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no problem for the reply. Okay, did you want me to... I guess, did you want more help with that? Not sure. Having a hard time setting the spawn power-up function when an enemy is destroyed from the enemy script. If you've got any insight. That sounds like to me that you're... So it sounds like you're having some issue with like the reference of the power-up controller. So you figured you'd show up and show some support. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. I mean, if you want help with it, I can. I mean, if you send me your code, I can probably show you what's wrong with it. Or oh, well, awesome. Thank you for dropping by. But yeah, I mean, definitely. You can send me the code, and I'll actually like show you what's wrong with it, or you can email me. I mean, I'll paste my email in here because I actually do have to get off soon. But yeah, if you wanted to, you can send me your code to my email, and I will get back to you with what's wrong with it and explain it. Because yeah, I do have to get off, and also my eyes are starting to get dry. So, yeah. Yeah, good seeing you. Welcome to the stream/channel. I'm glad to have you. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing these every Friday, so feel free to tune in whenever, and you can ask anything if you're having a problem with anything. For sure. Can't relate to dry eyes. Yeah, no, I had them so bad this week. Man. Pretty horrible. It only just now got better. Okay. Oh yeah, almost forgot what I was doing. Engine source. So this should only happen if I'm in context. Is there a human ship controller? Yeah, it's kind of like being damned to like one time a year. What's it called? Like it's like I'm hexed to once a year. Like I have 2 weeks where I just like can't use my eyes, which is pretty awful because I kind of stare at a computer screen for a living. So there's that. Okay, ship jet controller. Oh, that's why. So where's my human actor? Ship jet controller .animate jetsex. So if I'm not moving X, then stop playing. But I don't think I'm using this. Cross longitudinal. Move Y by input, move Y, shift dot thrust Y. Huh, that's frustrating. Okay, well, I will have to figure this out later, so, excuse me. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later. Again, I do this every Friday at 9 p.m., so definitely tune in next week. And yeah, I mean, make sure you're subscribed to like the channel so you see like all the videos, and definitely you can send me an email with your code with what you need help with, or just if you like want any sort of specific content or like suggestions. Again, you can just send it to my email. I put it in the chat a second ago. Oh, PC. I prefer, I guess. Yeah. So it's kind of complicated. I guess, okay, so in general, Mac has been a much friendlier developer experience, because, like, simply because of stuff like the terminal and the fact that I'm using Unix like natively. And I love the hotkeys on Mac. I find so much better, and I only use Mac laptops. This PC is my desktop, so it's like I put it together, and it has like very strong parts. And in general, Windows is still the better platform for game development, because, I mean, in my opinion, just because, for a couple reasons. One, because Macs are the best. MacBook Pro is kind of limited in comparison, and in general, Windows has had like more support over all this time for like graphics programming and all this kind of stuff. And I find that there's better compatibilities in general for like the games industry software on Windows. And obviously you can put together a custom Windows computer. You can't really put together a custom Mac computer. So I don't know. I love my workstation here, but I also, when I'm on the go, I use my Mac. So I don't know. I like them both a lot, but I like the Mac. Like, for example, if I could use Mac on my desktop computer, I probably would. Like, I like the operating system more, but my PC is much stronger, and I'm much more capable of making it better than I am with my Mac computer. So that's just my opinion, though. So I don't know. But yeah, okay. So I will catch you later. Bike Spike. Yeah, you think so as well? Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. But yeah, I'll catch you later. See you next time. And yeah, awesome having you guys here. And feel free to ask anything, because I do like answering questions. Okay. See you guys later.